One thing I've come to understand is that people struggle with businesses. I had to figure it out the hard way because there was no resource for us in the country for us to consume, even in the continent for us to consume to know what we do. Most of the literatures around business are from the international space. But you cannot compare American spending power with Nigerian spending power.
Sure.
People are moving away from traditional TV and it's on their phone. So how do we meet them at YouTube? How do we meet them Instagram, TikTok, so they can get this information? And if they want deeper knowledge, they can come into the room with these experts that teach them the whole playbook, and they can even ask questions and become part of a growing community of entrepreneurs in the continent. That's what we're just trying to build.
Millions of young people are ambitious, creative, and driven, yet too many businesses fail before they find their footing. Not because of lack of passion, but because of a lack of structured business education, strategy, and support. We examine in today's Just Africa a critical question: how do we scale business education across Africa? Not for a few, but for millions. So this conversation goes beyond lecture halls. It is about how media expand access, how strategy turns knowledge into systems, and how sustainable growth ensures business education creates real economic impact. My name is Omevi Idolo, and this is Just Africa on Soup News Television. And I'm not doing this alone. I have my favorite person, as he always wants me to call him, Emmanuel Amulo, with me in the studio.
Good thing you said your favorite person. I told you if you didn't introduce me well, I would not even do it. Hey, hello Lagos, hello Nigeria, hello Africa. Of course, we're here again to spotlight people, ideas that are shaping the continent. I've got a very wonderful guest today. I've watched him break complex ideas down, and I said, no, we need to bring him here. Perhaps his intuition into some of these things would help one business person, even if it's just one, to scale up in 2026. So this conversation is very, very important.
Talking about business education, you know, someone was asking just a few minutes ago that how does this topic today relate to the everyday African? What
I see one of the things that Africa, we know they have a lot of small scale businesses, SMEs.
Yes.
And many of them just go in because they just want to feed themselves, right? But the intricacies that a business structure should have, especially going into a new year like this, the pitfalls that you need to be aware of so that you avoid them, and your business should grow, not just outlive you essentially, not just because you want it to be a sustenance kind of thing. You need to know it now. So even if what you're doing is a shoemaking, or you're just into tailoring, seamstress, I don't know the names they use these days. Whatever it is, no matter how small it is in that corner, you need to know what it is, even if you decide not to use the strategy. But know it first. That knowledge, you will not get it in the four walls of a school. Sometimes you see it in the street. So when you learn some of these things and you know, perhaps the kind of decisions that you would make going into this new year will be very, very helpful.
You know, many people don't even think about the knowledge about a particular business that they are venturing into. Like we have so many entrepreneurs, we have so many SMEs out there. But just as I said during my introduction, many businesses fail even before they start. That's because people don't even understand the nitty-gritty of that business. So the knowledge, you know, most times people just feel, let me just do what everybody's doing. Someone is selling food. Because of that, you want to sell food. You don't want to go deep. You don't want to dig deep. You don't want to carry out research. You don't want to know what it takes to run a food business.
I remember Ambassador Femi was the owner of Soup News Television and, of course, the other business that he owns. He says, before you recognize somebody as an entrepreneur, you'd have done 5 years of failing. Like you'd have done a business and failed and continued and failed. Because that's when you can end the toga as I'm an entrepreneur. Because many people will get to the first failure and they say, I'm not doing this again.
I'm not doing it again.
Because essentially you didn't even do any groundwork. You didn't do any SWOT analysis. What is your strength? What is your weakness? Oh, because everybody is selling food, let me also go and sell food. You don't even know the location you're in will favor you. You don't know the kind of food you're going to sell would resonate in that place. If you're in the north, for example, you want to now begin to sell jollof rice. When there's maybe someone like two chinkafa that will probably sell more because it can increase based on culture. Do those kind of checks and balances. Make sure you know, oh, these are the kind of things I can do. Let me go for a place where, because location can also matter. The taste can matter. All these things are things that essentially you not even learn in the school, but you will learn with conversations that we're having like this.
Exactly. So from entrepreneurs and SMEs to policymakers and educators, we ask, What must change for business education to truly power Africa's economic future? So, to help us answer some of the questions we were talking about is Kelechi Ogoke. He is the Chief Growth Officer and host of Great Conversations Network. Kelechi has produced over 30 long-form business conversations, reached over 25 million views, and launched a revenue generator business academy, showcasing how media can become a lever for African entrepreneurial growth. Hello, Kelechi. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you for having me. I hope I live up to my.
Yes.
You will.
You will. And how was getting to the studio?
It was easy. It was fine.
I like it when the guests get to the studio.
Yeah, wait, hang on. There's that amazing stats that you said. Over 30 episodes of teaching people essentially.
Yeah.
How did you pull that off?
Network, opportunities, taking opportunities. So I think my profile before starting Great Conversation Network, I ran cinemas. I ran 4 cinemas in Lagos and in Ogun State. I also led a startup in Port Harcourt. Then I went on to lead growth for an Australian firm, which was my last place of assignment before coming to build Great Conversation Network. And one thing I've come to understand is that people struggle with businesses. I had to figure it out the hard way because there was no resource for us in the country for us to consume, even in the continent for us to consume to know what we do. Most of the literatures around business are from the international space. But you cannot compare American spending power with Nigerian spending power. There's a lot of disposable income there, but there isn't. So the question of how do we market to Africans that have less disposable income came up. How do we do sales? How do we do partnership? How do we raise money? How do we do finance? How do we do strategy? And our school system is not really covering it as detailed as we are. So we said, you know what, let's bring operators into the room. Let's have them into the room. Let's get them talking about these conversations. Let's ask them more detailed questions about this. Let them spill the beans. So anybody anywhere can just pick up their phone and get the knowledge they need from an operator with 5 to 10, 15 years, 30 years experience in the game. So I feel it's also the biggest transfer of business experience ever, because these people are coming to share. And there's something that happens. You guys are OEP. When you have somebody in the room and the person is comfortable and you're asking the questions, the person keeps giving you the answer. But we're very intentional with the way we structure our questions. We don't want it vague. We want it straight to the point. And we want to design the questions in the way people share. We're launching a new series now. It's called 10 Questions. It's supposed to air, I think, last week of this month. We're bringing in VCs, partnership leads, sales experts, because we understand that people consume a lot from their phone. People are moving away from traditional TV and it's on their phone. So how do we meet them in YouTube? At YouTube, how do we meet them in Instagram, TikTok, so they can get this information? And if they want deeper knowledge, they can come into the room with these experts that teach them the whole playbook, and they can even ask questions and become part of a growing community of entrepreneurs in the continent. That's what we're just trying to build.
It's a very beautiful thing. You asked the question, and you've broken it down to a very large extent. Now, from the aspect of OEPs, presenters, not in the conversation. Now, we have seen many entrepreneurs, SMEs, businesses being set up. Many, yet the rate of failure is still very, very high. What is missing? Is it capital? Is it education? What do you think is the missing gap?
I saw a video this morning on Twitter. Davido's sister. She said she has spent over $100,000 and the business isn't clicking. It's not capital that is our problem.
Okay.
So for me to answer that question, you could see the peculiar. It's everybody with his own shoe. So mine could be capital, yours could be marketing, yours could be sales.
Okay.
So every business, every environment has its own problem. So the conversation, so the goal is, where is that one platform I can go to that if I'm lacking in some certain skill set, I can learn about it and also build a connection with these people. And it does just stop from consuming the media. You have people that, we have a newsletter at Great Conversation Network. What we do is that we send you strategies that is happening in the global market, and we send it directly to your email. Nobody's currently doing that kind of communication with their consumers in terms of business. And we look at the continent, 1.4 billion people. The median age is 18 years. It means that young people are the ones going to run the economy.
Yes.
And these young people, most of them won't even get the opportunity to go to school. School is becoming way more expensive. The average cost of a business school, if you want the top tier one, you're looking at 15 to 30 million. If you want the one that's fairly okay, 50 million downwards. So how can young people compete? The average SME earns 250,000 in profits every month. So
Okay.
where will you even save for you to go to the business school? So we're trying to create a media platform that move people from point A to point B to point C without so much commitment in terms of time and in terms of finances. We had a masterclass in November. We had people pay, and people were coming in from Borno, Ilorin, Ibadan, Kogi. That impact has never been felt before in the country. So our goal right now this year is how do we scale it? And yeah, the business part is very, very boring. We're in a social media
Yes.
we're in a social media world where it's overstimulated with entertainers. They have most of the money. And I think we also blame ourselves because we have left in terms of our social media space for them. So the question is, largely, you hardly see a Nigerian operator building an online brand for himself. So I'm the head of marketing. You barely see them have an online brand. But if you go to the US market, the Indian market, these people are building brands by teaching people how to do marketing. There's a channel I currently follow, and the channel is built around teaching people how to do digital marketing. Like breaking it down from A to B, how to do digital marketing. This is a skill that just came into the business world not less than 5 years ago. It's even evolving. Facebook just launched Adrometa. It's an AI platform that helps you target your target audience. WhatsApp ad is coming. YouTube just launched 2 new features. One of them is what they call, before, if you want to do an advert on YouTube, right now, you have to bond the adverts to the video. But right now, if you want to do an advert on YouTube, you can just place it and put the amount of time it wants to run, then it will go ahead and run. So your video that's trending before keep giving you consistent revenue and clients. But people don't even understand. There's YouTube Shop, where if you are creating video, you can even sell your product on YouTube Shop. People don't understand. Now let's talk digital marketing. We are seeing digital marketing coming and people just feel it's all about running ads. There's a lot to it. There's return on ad spend. There's CPC, cost per click, cost of acquiring the customers. Those are not at the forefront of our university education. So we are taking it upon ourselves. We are using our network across the country. We're even stretching it globally and saying, okay, who are the best guys who can get as growth marketer in London? How can we partner with a studio in London and get those people to record these conversations for us? We're even stretching it out. I think in the next 2-3 weeks, we're launching the French version of our channel because we want to expand into multiple African countries. And we look at it, the inter-business between Nigeria and the rest of West Africa is still 8%. It's still 8%, 8 to 10%. That means there's 90% gap in the market. So Nigerians are not even entering into more countries around the West African space to do business. So how do we shape that thinking for us to say, you know what, let's leave Nigeria, let's go to Togo, let's go to Ghana, let's see what we can do, because we are the leaders in terms of the West African eco space, and people look up to us for what's new, what's trendy, and what's happening. But Nigerian youth, we are not taking that chances enough. So what Great Conversation Network is doing is get the best experts in the room, look for a way that we can infuse pop culture to business education, because it's one thing
That's the way to get us. That's the way to get young people.
To infuse pop culture into business education and scale from there.
Okay, so I do know that you've studied young businesses a while, right? Even though you had conversations with more of these players in the field. What are the common mistakes that they often mention that SMEs make?
Not knowing who they are speaking to. Marketing and sales is a big deal for them. You can't have cash flow problem. You will have cash flow problem if you don't know how to sell your services. Marketing is one thing, sales is one thing. Some people don't even know the two. So marketing is, one of my friends will say, marketing is telling people I'm here. Come and check me out. Sales is making sure that thing happen. But Nigerians don't know the two. So right now, one of the things they focus on is marketing and sales. Another thing they focus on is finance, management of finance. Nigerians, we're all guilty of it. We tie our business account to our own personal account. So if the business makes 2,000, we take 1,015 for ourselves to keep ourselves going. But we forget that business is like, Elon Musk would say business is like eating glass. Then if you don't have a buffer in terms of finance to keep you going, you definitely run out of money. And once you run out of money, you lose it up here. And once you lose it up here, you can't keep going. Because we're living in a world now whereby art and technology will dominate. Arts meaning media and creativity, technology meaning AI. So the question is, how are you being creative? You only be creative from here. And if your mind is not settled in terms of finance, you can't create anything. So in a nutshell, I would say finance is a major drawback for many businesses, but also marketing and sales is also a major challenge for them. And also, most of them don't even have an expansion plan. In terms of, so with business, you have to look at it in milestones. And most of them don't set this milestone. I'm starting a business today. What are the numbers I'm supposed to hit? For me now, before we started shooting this year, we have planned everything in December. We know how many content we are going to produce. We know how much it's going to cost us to produce that content. We know how much we're going to make back from that content. We did our budget, so we are well planned. So anything coming out that is not in the budget, it's distraction. We're focused on making this budget happen. So the Nigerian small business don't even do that. They just wake up, go there, open shop. Once they sell, they take their money, they go back, or take 3,000 for this thing, and they repeat the same cycle. That's why you see our businesses don't pass down from generation to generation to generation. But in India, the case is different.
Okay, now that in Nigeria and in some part of Africa, they do not have this knowledge, how do you think that the social media, the media space generally, how would they be able to bridge this gap of lack of knowledge?
So I think for me, I'm a big fan of building on YouTube. Okay. I feel it's the next biggest thing that's going to take over the world. And the people that get in early to start building an audience get to win from it. So I'll talk about building from YouTube. Yes, you can go in to start creating a content, but one thing people fail to understand is they want to go viral. But the game is not to go viral. The game is for you to build an audience that stay with you and that is ready to pay you. So if the media wants to play its part in it, it should take away the fact that, we are going viral. But the fact that, let's build an audience in the sense that if we have one person today, that's one potential buyer. If we have 10 persons today, that's 10 potential buyers. Then the creativity now comes in, the storytelling part now comes in. How are you making your content engaging?
Okay.
In the first 3 seconds, that's all you have now. So
first 3 seconds.
That's all you have right now to make you work. Unless somebody will just scroll past your video. That's the world we live in. It's called doom scrolling. People are just... So you have 3 seconds to make it work. How are you making it work in that 3 seconds? And it's not a situation of, go bait your guests to say something that will put guests in a bad light. No, we have shown that, yes, good content also sells.
Yeah.
One of our content have done 30,000 views. One have done 12,000 views. One have done 7,000 views. And those are not controversial content.
Okay, those views you talked about, how long? Was it a period of 1 month?
We just started 5 months ago. We have hit 3K subscribers. We have gotten close to almost 5 million people. But experience also play a part for me because I've also produced a lot of content, both in the Nigerian market and in the Australian market. Okay. So I know what works. So what we're trying to do, and also media should learn to experiment a lot.
But we don't have the luxury of capital to always do that.
What's the worst that can happen?
Go broke.
Go broke, then you start all over again. It's nobody wins at a first hit. If you win at the first hit, then you are obviously failures meeting you at the front. You have to learn the rudiments, and you don't learn without experimenting. Marketing is experimenting. Anybody coming to tell you that this works in marketing, the person is like, there are principles that guide you in terms of marketing, but you have to experiment. And you're in an area where things are changing so fast. Even our university system are not keeping up. We are having conversation with some of them right now and say, okay, the students that are studying business education, how are we bringing them back into this room to come and meet operators? Our episode 1 of 10 questions that is coming out is a venture capitalist that came in. She has over 850 angel partners in her venture firm that have given out a lot of money. And she's coming to tell you, this is how you can raise money from me. That's never before seen in the Nigerian media space. The next episode, episode 2 coming in, is how to sell product online. Talking about CAC. This is cost of acquiring a customer. Talking about return on ad spend. Talking about WhatsApp ad marketing that is not in the country. You can be going through your status and an advert hits you and you can just make purchase from there. AI automation is also in the game. So once I can just leave my WhatsApp and the whole transaction will happen because I've set up an AI automation for it to happen. Hi, I saw your advert. I want to buy this. AI is structured to give you detailed response at each time. Those are new trends coming into business. But the question is, who is keeping Nigerians updated?
I was going to ask.
Actually, my next question.
I was going to ask you, like, so is it that the schools do not have the people to teach this, or they're not just interested?
I won't blame the school. For you to get this knowledge, you must be heavily invested in it.
Yeah.
But the question is, there's a cap to what they can do. These are new trends coming out. WhatsApp are these platforms are designed to keep improving every quarter. The school system can't catch up.
Yeah.
But the people doing the job in different companies can catch up because it's their role.
Yeah.
Their KPIs are defined by what they are able to bring in. So if we can get access to these people and bring them in the room and break it down, I can go do my MBA in school, then I learn the principles, then great conversation teaches me the real life experience of what to do. Then if I want to build personal relationship and get more mentorship, I'll go in for their masterclass and workshops that happen every quarter and get this knowledge from that. That's what we really want.
How about an approach where people who are already playing in the field go to schools to teach?
So if you go to also money comes into play, earning power comes into play. And we devise a business model whereby they earn way more than they will earn from teaching in the school. So if you go teach for a federal university now, you are put on a salary, right? We are saying, no, we don't want to put you on a salary. You will earn commission based on the number of students we have. So if we have 10,000 students and you earn 10% commission and we are pegging the price at 25 to 50,000 naira, that's you taking home 2.5 to 3 million naira.
More than whatever it is in school.
You earn even more than what you even earn in some jobs. So we are putting money back in the hands of the operators, and we're also making it affordable for the students too. And also, we're not just limiting at that. We are monetized on YouTube. So what we are doing is that we're telling these people, now you're an actor, you are somebody. This video will be online till YouTube stop being functional. That means we'll keep any residual check. We dropped a video on the 27th of September. Today, we're tracking it in our data. It just crossed 12,000 views.
Oh, no.
So it dropped on the 27th, 12,000 views. I mean, the video have been appreciating with time. That's why I tell people, go build on YouTube. It gives us the opportunity to say, okay, come in, let's do a term sheet. How much percentage should we give you on the royalties of this video? So, okay, give me 20%. Okay, we'll give you the 20%. That means the person earns 20% of that video till the person is no more. That means you keep getting check from us, from the video you created while you are younger. It's also putting money back in the hands of the people that they are even comfortable coming to share their knowledge. It means that they are not just earning from one point, they are earning from multiple touch points while doing business with us.
You've been in the worker space before you became this entrepreneur part of it, right? What are the lessons that you have learned that you think any business should learn, even when you want to go?
I think when you say even in the worker space, I've also led businesses. So
Okay.
So it gave birth to my entrepreneurship. If you're managing 4 cinemas, you have give or take 15 staff. The success of that cinema depends on you. If you are leading growth into multiple countries, the success of that business depends on you. So I've been an entrepreneur. They call it intrapreneur. Somebody that is an entrepreneur that is still working on that business. So your head must be. But one of the lessons I would want them to do I've learned is that they are stuck in their ways. I feel many businesses are stuck in their ways.
But is that not what keeps you in your identity?
It's your job to innovate. Americans don't wait for you to, they serve you. I feel sometimes we feel like the customer is always right, but sometimes the customer don't know what they want.
Okay, so in a situation where a customer doesn't know what he or she wants,
How do
You sell your idea to the customer. Did you tell Tesla that you wanted an electric car? They sold it to you. They did their research. They know where it's going. They produced it. They sold it to you. But that's why business should also be open for feedbacks. I'll give you an example. I was managing one of the cinemas in Ota. When I came in, the cinemas was not performing well, and we said, okay, this community is a community that don't have spending power. Movie is not in their top priority. So let's go to a community that has spending power. So we did our research. Ota has thousands of Indians there. How do we get Bollywood movies in there and bring these Indians? Because they can buy tickets for 5,000, 6,000 because they're movie fanatic. Even when they wanted to sell the cricket league in India, they had to use their celebrity to sell it. So I understood that part. So I brought the movie in. And this is what most businesses got in. The first time we did 60% capacity. Everybody was hailing me. Oh, you have done something good. You have opened up a new revenue. The second movie we did only 4 people. In a hall of 120. My boss called me and said, don't bring any Indian movie there again. But I said, I brought my team into the room and I said, what did we do wrong? I called some of my Indian customers, this customer feedback. We brought this movie. The movie, I can't forget the name. It gave me so much sleepless night, made in China. It didn't do well. What happened? The Indian said, we don't like it. And again, we had the cricket game going on, so we had to go watch the cricket game.
Okay.
I said, okay, do you know what we'll do? We'll create a WhatsApp group, 10 of you. Let's put you guys on the WhatsApp group. Then we'll also expand our distributors. So instead of having one person distributing Indian movie for us, we have multiple people. So when it's time for Indian movie to come on, we ask our distributors to send all the movies they have. They send their movies, then we'll put it in the WhatsApp group. They say, this one will sell, this one won't sell. So then we started having sold out on multiple movies. They kept giving us feedback. Oh, your popcorn is too salty, reduce it. Be open. It's not criticism, it's feedback.
Okay.
Tesla has developed the way it has developed now because they listen to their customer. That's why I see some of them recalling cars. And one of the key things businesses don't do is that they don't listen to their customer. Even though when you are marketing to the customer, what's the customer saying? What does the customer want? What experience would the customer want? If you send us now a bad email to say, okay, I don't like your product, it's my job to get you in the room to ask why. Because that's more even important than the sales. Because that keeps me innovating. The sales is just, if it depends so much on your sales, you have a way of losing traction of why you even started.
Okay.
But if you keep having that conversation with your customers, getting to know them, getting to know their pain point, getting to know why your business is not fulfilling their need, trust me, the next 1 year or 2 years will be better off.
Okay, so I want to ask, in scaling business education right now, what should one look out for? Is it just impact or income?
You can have both. It's not either or. You can have both. So now, with our content that we make free, we are looking for impact and we are looking for the numbers. But with our masterclass and workshop, we are looking for the revenue.
Okay.
That's how we are combining.
Okay.
That's how we're combining both. Because at the end of the day, to produce one content at that scale is massive budget. How do we fund it? It's not even funding it, making sure that we are profitable now. How do we build a profitable business that we know in the next 12 months we're going to be profitable? That's what we're also looking at for. So with the masterclass, with the workshop, this is the reference to my mom. I was telling her, oh, we need to take the price of the masterclass up. We're just having a conversation. Then the other day, she said, no, it will be too expensive for people. She said, but you know what, you created it now. But I said, okay. You know what? I went back to the drawing board. I said, okay, if you want a 1 week experience, this is the amount. We'll call it the masterclass. If you want a workshop experience, this is the amount. So we're not telling you, oh, we are making it more expensive. We're just telling you, come and buy according to your capacity, and each experience is tailored to make sure it benefits you. So that's how impact and revenue is going.
Okay.
So now let me take somebody that works as growth marketer for a firm. I can start up a YouTube now, just teaching people how to do growth marketing in their business. I keep creating content and I'll tell them, oh, for you to learn more or for you to come into a mentorship class, come and pay this amount and design an experience for them. That's mixing impact and revenue. So if we're going to scale it across the continent, we're going to make sure, okay, what is the dominant language in the continent? English, French, Swahili, Zulu, African. Okay, how do we now start creating content and dubbing into those language? And how do we start having multiple tutors around these countries that can come in and say, okay, we're doing this now for Cameroon. Or we have a Cameroon tutor that will come in and teach. We're doing this. So that we scale it. It's more like a personal Bible for businesses. So business gets into the room and say, okay, I'm having issues with sales. Well, let me go watch Great Conversation and see what sales strategy I can deploy, how to design sales playbook, how to get partnership. It's not at the forefront. We're focused on the core skills that help businesses grow. Because some business stuff you don't really need it.
Okay, so all right, you talked about business education, going to the universities to study business education, and right now with Nigeria kind of curriculum, when you come out of the university study business education, you are expected to come out as a teacher. You understand? So that you expect to be in school, be teaching business studies as a business education graduate. Now, do you think there is something that we need to do about our educational system in Nigeria and in Africa generally, if we want to change or we want our African businesses to really thrive on the global stage?
I think we should make it more practical.
Okay, our educational system.
I think we should make it more practical, less theory. It's good on paper, doesn't mean it will work in the real life. I think we should encourage our young ones, once they start studying business education, I think they should be mandated to start a business. And the school should be mandated to keep track of the progress with the business. They can even do a pitch day or a business review day. It's a great program that makes sure, I need to make it more competitive. So let's say we have an opportunity to talk with Ibrahim Badamusi, I hope I don't spoil it, university, and we're trying to bring them into the room to say, okay, let's do these programs with you. And one of the key things we will do is to make sure it's very, very practical for them. How to raise funds have never been taught in some of our schools.
Exactly.
And venture capitalists have disbursed how much in the past 3 years? So it's only a specific few that are collecting this money. How about the guy that is in a village that sees a local problem?
Because I'm actually coming to those areas.
They want to develop a problem for how does the person even structure a pitch deck? How does the person identify the problem? How does the
Even
person
know what a pitch deck is.
So this is how we could also use media to close the gap. But once the person gets into the room and the person understands it's practical, the person gets access to a community that you even receive business strategy to your emails, the person wants something more. The person wants to try more. The person feels like you only feel failure when you're alone with it. Once you have a community and you fail, you can go in there and say, hi, I just failed. This is what happened. This is what happened. They will coach you. You have that vibe to keep going. So the mistake we make, we feel like we need to get it once. I should start it and it should be successful now.
Okay.
It takes...
All of us abuse like that now. Look, I also see that one of the things a lot of African entrepreneurs or business people realize is they always want to talk about, there's not enough money, right? And the truth is, there really isn't. But one of the things that have become very popular these days is this venture capitalist system. I don't know whether it is new here, but I know it's very common these days. How can businesses tap into this? Because just like you rightly said, there's a lot of money in there and not a lot of us are tapping into it.
So I think my new episode will answer it, but let me just break it down to you. So venture capitalists only invest in scalable problems that they know they can get 10 to 15x their return. That's the sad and honest truth. But we also forget there's also something called private equity. So private equity are guys that come in and buy or invest in businesses that have proven track record. There are a lot of private equity firms buying plumbing business in the US. Being a plumber, you can sell and go do another thing with your life. That's how young people are even making money in the US. They start a business, they build it to a particular point, they sell it to private equity, exit, and go into other markets because they have fixed the money problem. The question is, yes, there's not enough money. Before even thinking about VC money, the one you are running, have you run it well? Have you run it well? How much is what's your profit margin? Go ask them, even the person pushing a wheelbarrow now, ask them, what's your profit margin on everything? They don't know. Because at the end of the day, they want to buy, sell, repeat. There's not enough money. The question I ask is, are you making sales? Yes. If you're making sales, then money is not your problem. More sales is your problem.
Okay.
Because if I give you money, you haven't even figured out your numbers. Okay, look at us now. We do our budget and we understand that our profit margin is only 60%. And everything we have to do must fall under that 60%. So it makes us more calculative. It makes us know, okay, the vendors who are negotiating with, we don't negotiate more than this. We negotiate this one, we negotiate that. With these guys, some of them don't even know. My father was a businessman, and he used to sell tires, he sold televisions, and I know the struggles. I grew up in a business environment. I grew up close to Alaba and Trade Fair. And you know they are populated with so many business people. But you could also see the failure there because the environment tells that this person has failed. Because you see the person doing so well and you see the person not doing well again. What happened? Oh, his business has crashed. And the community feels it because every business that fails, you take money out of that community. That's why if you see some communities there's no life in it. Because a lot of businesses have failed and they have left. So you leave the people traveling to other community to go do business. But if we can get the education to them, limit all the access to them, put them in the room with these guys and teach them, and they start running their business well in their communities, they got to be a success.
Okay, let's look at government policies that are backing business education. Do you think those policies are good enough? First of all, are there policies that are, first of all, helping to scale business education? And if there are, do you think they are good enough to help move businesses from point A to point B?
I think there are policies. I'm not sure if I could pick one, but there are policies, there are grants, there are loans that government are issuing out. And yes, but there's a limit to what they can do. This is a continent of 1.4 billion people. Government impacts will be felt all around, if we are being honest. But at the same time, in our local communities, I feel like the local government need to step up. I feel like the local government need to also create workshops for these guys.
Yeah.
So it's not put up banner and get political and try to use it to push some certain image and win your local. Okay, you know what? I stay in this local government. This local government have up to 500,000 people living in it. It has up to 1,000 businesses because they have the data. They collect levies from these guys. So the question is, what are the success of this business? How many local government chairmen have you seen in his constituents go all around? Even your senators, the House of Rep, go all around, sit down with these guys and say, what's happening? What do you need? How can we close the gap? How can we make you more successful? How can we increase the spending power? There's a trend happening on Twitter, and they say people, Southeast is just for dirty December. And once it's done, people leave. Thank God they are wearing Igbo cap. Once it's done, people leave.
Yes.
And the whole place go back and you
again.
see abject poverty.
Yeah.
So if the local government chairman in Southeast don't sit down and say, okay, how do we improve this? What policy do we need to bring? How do we make sure manufacturing come in? Even though manufacturing, how do we make sure the small business owner have support? What levies are we giving to these people that we shouldn't? How many levies are they paying? How many can we take out? For some certain period, how many should we leave? Get them into the room, bring in experts to teach them financial education, teach them marketing, teach them sales, teach them things, do it every month. That way you are bringing these people into your local council, you are sitting there, you are having conversation with them. With time, you get to see people take more risks because they know that, oh, if I feel I can go meet my local council and have a conversation and I'll get results for it. So I feel I'm more concerned about our communities because if you look at any development, it's from bottom to top, not top to bottom.
Yes.
So if our community has the policies that we want, it's not really a policy. It's more or less the local government need to engage with the people doing business in those communities because every business is in a community.
Yes.
And what's that business field which is less tax for you, less manpower for you? If I have a business in a place in Ikorodu, if I have a business, you have a business, you have a business, you have a business, and we are paying the minimum wage, which is 70,000 naira. I have 5 staff. We all have 5 staff, which is 35 staff. We are pull out 35 people out of poverty by putting 70,000 naira in their hands. So that's where the real game changer in businesses come. If we have it across multiple communities, I think
You can only check the ripple effects. This
Yeah.
just create an ecosystem, essentially.
Yeah.
Wow.
I do feel like people just like direct answers to questions, right?
Yeah.
Especially people who are entrepreneurs and okay, this is my problem. What is the solution? This is it. Are there answers like that in terms of strategy? Oh, I want to scale up. What do I do? I don't do this. I think that's what many of us want.
That's why we created the workshop.
Okay.
So we create the workshop, we'll make it 5 days event and sometimes 10 days event, and we'll make it a 2-hour session. That means you're learning business for 20 hours, 10 hours, depending on which grade you want to play in. So the question is, we'll leave 1 hour, 30 minutes for teaching, then the 30 minutes for question and answer. It gives the people the opportunity to even come and say, this is what I'm going through. Then the expert gives you the answer. So we tell our experts, we always send them
FAQs?
no, workshop briefs and masterclass brief, which is the kind of experience we want to create for these guys. So they are well prepared. They come in with their PowerPoint. They come in with everything you need. They share tips, strategy. Recently, we had one. It's called marketing strategy. And there in the class, the expert has 25 years experience in marketing business and has done campaign for multiple businesses. And there in the class, the expert shared how people consume content online. Not many people have access to that. This is how baby boomers consume content. This is how Gen Zs consume content. Do you know what it does for you? You doing your marketing, you now know,
Yeah.
okay, this is how I should tailor my content. So now we are doing the art of storytelling. It's an email newsletter we are sending out. We are doing it. It's the art of storytelling is a 4 hours course by Neil Graham. We got access to it, and we are breaking it into short bits that we are sending to people in their mail.
Okay.
We understand that AI now will dominate the internet in terms of content. Now you watch content and you say, is this AI or is this real?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the question is, how does brand stand out? Storytelling. You have to tell a story that connects the consumer to you. That's the only way you get a follow now or like now. So the question is, we're telling our community that, okay, this is the new trend coming in. We want to push you ahead of the trend. This is how you tell story. It infuse your content. I will always push for, don't go viral.
Yeah.
Speak to the people you want to speak to
Yeah.
and keep growing them. Before you know, you hit 1 million people, people that want to pay to you. So once you drop anything, it's off the shelf.
Well, thank you so much, Kelechi. There is a lot that we really want to ask, but because of time, in fact, the questions we've not even gone very far with them. But thank you once again for coming on the show.
Thank you for
Where are you
having me.
from?
Imo State.
Imo State. So, can you greet Africans in the Igbo language?
How do you have to
She's putting me on the spot. She's putting me on the spot.
This is just Africa.
I'm an Imo boy
Igbo boy. So, can we?
Just try. Okay, I didn't know. Let's try. Because the interesting part of it is at least we know where you're from.
Yeah.
Right? Just try.
Can I do English? And
No.
We take it like that.
I want to hear Igbo.
Oh, yeah, try.
I'm not be proud of me.
She said, I told you. One day they'll come over this.
Mama, please,
The
because
crazy thing is, my friend always tell me, do you know how to speak? I'll learn later. Hi, I'm Kelechi Ogoke, and this is Just TV Africa. That's what I'm doing.
thank you very much,
Thank you so
Kelechi,
much
for
for
coming
having
on the
me.
show, and we are so happy that
We'll bring you back
you
again.
honored us with your presence. That was a whole lot, Amulo.
It's a lot to take in because I'm not an entrepreneur yet, and one of my bosses always say not everybody's built to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Right? But having to understand where your strength is, if you have decided that I'm an entrepreneur, you need to go through all the rudiments of it all. Not necessarily everything, but like as I asked the last question I asked, go for the right questions that you want answers to so that you can scale up.